Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure to have you on sportinglife.com. Let's get straight in at the deep end. England, will they win the Euros? And who will be key to them doing so?
That's a good question. They certainly have the squad and the depth in the squad to win the Euros. I see them getting out of the group. First up is obviously Austria, which would be a tough game for opening the Euros. Sold out crowd, but I think they're ready for it. You know, we've seen in their performances in their 3 build-up games that they've got goals in this team, and they've got players that can come off the bench and have an impact and change the game if needed. So yeah, I definitely think they're in a really good mental space. The confidence that they have with these 3 wins, yeah, I would you know, put it out there that they can potentially win it.
Okay, so if you were to pick out some key players for England, if they were to go on and win the Euros, who would they be?
Yeah, there's so many to pick from. I'll just pick a couple, but I think Lauren Hemp is key to them and their success going forward. I think she gets people off their seats. She's an entertainer. She's got rapid pace. She can take players on in 1v1 situations, good at crossing the ball, especially when she moves over to the right-hand side, cutting in on her left foot. But teams are going to be out to nullify her because they know how good she is. So it's about her raising her standards and believing in herself in this tournament and delivering in those big key moments. Ellen White is always a crucial part to this team because of her goals, her innate ability to, you know, sniff out space in the box and put the ball in the back of the net. Beth Mead has been in sensational form for Arsenal. Whether she starts or comes off the bench, she's an impact. In 1v1 situations, she pops up with goals. Lucy Bronze is going to be key, you know, coming from deep with those overlapping runs. She likes to get up and create. And then I think the key partnership at the back, if they play together, which I think is Greenwood and Millie Bright. They've got a good understanding, and they're especially with the long balls playing out from the back, the quality that they both have on the ball, I think will be key for England.
Well, we don't want to think about it too much, but if it's not England, who do you think might win the Euros?
Oh God, there's such a tough question because there's so many teams. I think 5 or 6 teams that potentially can win it. You've got France, Sweden, the Netherlands, Norway are an outsider. Germany, you can never write the Germans off. But if I was to lean towards someone, it would probably be Sweden. I think they've got a very experienced squad. You know, semi-finalists of the Olympics, silver medalists. They've got a great attacking lineup. Again, like England, got strong players that can come off the bench. Yeah, they just look good for me, and I think this potentially could be their time too.
Okay, well, let's go on to look at a few individuals then. Let's look at the Golden Boot. Who, I know it's really difficult ahead of the tournament, and obviously you're expecting it to be really competitive, but who would your Golden Boot winner be?
You've got Miedema of the Netherlands, who's been, you know, in sensational form for Arsenal. She always pops up in big tournaments and is that, you know, leader for them. But it just depends how far that they would go in the tournament. But her goals will be crucial. So I would stick my neck out and say her.
Okay. Right. 5 players that you'd watch out for at the Euros.
The French striker, Katutu. She's just a brilliant young player. Lethal going forward, strong running in behind, and a really good finisher. I think, you know, she'll lead the line for France and be that go-to person for them. Miedema, who I just mentioned, a big player for the Netherlands. You know, she's good aerially. She's good with her back to goal. She pops up all over the pitch, especially in the final third and the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And she's a good finisher with both feet. Ada Hegerberg, it's been nice to see her in the tournament after 5 years absent from the Norwegian team. Obviously a Champions League winner and a French League winner. You know, her movement is absolutely world class. Also very good in the air, and especially balls coming from the left and the right from Wrighton and Caroline Hansen, who like to get crosses in for her. She's definitely going to be a threat. Lauren Hemp, who I've mentioned before, one of England's best players. When she gets on the ball, she makes things happen. She gets people excited. Electrifying pace, good 1v1 defender. And if she gets in those right areas, she can supply crosses to Ellen White or Bethany England. And then I would say that They're quite attacking players. I'll go for a left back. The French left back looks very, very tasty to me when she gets on the ball. Selma Bakker, great going forward from deep, kind of like a Lucy Bronze, attacking minded player from deep, likes to get up and support her forward, overlapping runs, and she will create a lot down the French left-hand side.
Okay, well, let's turn our attention then back to England, their opening game against Austria. What sort of challenge do Austria present to England, and how do you see the match going?
Well, England are the favourites, as I said, with home soil. You know, the fans majority will be English behind them, and I think Austria will just set up, get numbers behind the ball and try and frustrate England. And they'll say to England, "Come on, then you can break us down." But I think Austria will play on the counter attack as much as possible, but just try and keep the crowd quiet, and just get numbers behind the ball, be difficult to beat, and then find their highest point player and look to hurt England in that manner.
And your England 11 then, how are they ideally setting up formation-wise, and who would make your starting 11 for the game against Austria?
Well, my starting 11 would be Mary Earps in goal, Lucy Bronze at right back, Millie Bright and Alex Greenwood. That solid centre-half partnership, I think, is key. Alongside Rachel Daly, who likes to get up and down. I know she's versatile and she's played in a few positions in the build-up and those friendly games, but I do think, at the moment in time, she's more attacking minded, other than Demi Stokes. I'd have Kira Walsh as the pivot, the hold in the midfield alongside Leah Williamson. I think they've got a good understanding, a good partnership, and I love that the way that they have an understanding. On the left, I'll go Lauren Hemp, Ellen White, and then I would start Chloe Kelly, because I think we've seen in these build-up games that she looks ready for it. She looks hungry. She's confident down that right-hand side flank. I think she's got a very good understanding with Lucy Bronze from playing club football together. So that's my starting 11.